Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with John from Pro Craps here on Casino Gaming TV. So we just got done with the daily paycheck. I'm sorry I'm a couple of minutes late here getting the show started, but I had to feed the dog and get some things done. So here we are. Let's start off with a quick review of where we did paycheck wise today. So I'm going to show you the current stats. I just updated these a minute ago. So currently the Moonbow is 5-1. Now yesterday I got in three shooters worth yesterday. We won twice and lost once. And the one that we lost on, we weren't done with. I ran out of time and had to come down here to do this show. So we ran out of time on it and didn't finish it out. So the loss is kind of a virtual loss. It's not, I almost want to pull that one off the table and be like, well, since we didn't finish the shooter or whatever, or the session, can't call it a loss. Now, today we won again. So we had a problem with Crapsy, and I'll talk to Chuck here in a little bit, but Crapsy crapped out on us at the beginning. It wouldn't let me log in, so I couldn't do the rolls on Crapsy, so we had a slow start. I had to get out there and do the bets by hand with actual chips, my God, and do all the payouts myself. And on the big table, that takes a while because it's a far reach and everything else. So it was a slow go. Our first shooter made money pretty quickly. We did a good job. We, had a couple little tiny come out wins, and we made our paycheck in 15 rolls. And it was really what I would call the golden shot. So what we've seen in the Moonbow so far is one time I won easy because I had a come out craps number with $300 on the don't. So that's, you start out ahead and it becomes a one hit game and you're out. That was great. So I've seen that. I've seen it win when we have picked off the 9 on our come out gambit and lose $600 out of the gate, and then take our 2 hits in the box and recover super quick and still make profit. I've seen it recover from that. Yesterday, we saw it start to recover from a buckshot on the point. Today, a buckshot at the point again. And we started recovery on that one too. But the first roll today went pretty well, where we beat the come out, set a point. We moved, lay bet on the point, got our one shot, went across for 160, made our $500. Like that's the golden, that's what should happen, right? Beat the point, or beat the 7, beat the point, make 2 hits, and you're out of there. That's the way it ought to have worked. And today, the first shooter worked out perfect. The second shooter, I buckshotted the point. I lost $900 on the 8, and we fought back all the way up. And I even mispaid myself. I misplayed it. So I missed a roll where I should have collected $200. I collected 30 instead of 200 on the second roll after the next point. We ended up losing today like 330 or something like that. We should have technically been down about $100. And even then, I think I mispaid something else. So my dealing today was not great, for sure. So even on a bad run where I buckshotted the point, we fought right back to being almost clean and clear in the rack. So far, so good. Like I say here, it's a slow and steady grind, right? You're going to win 30, $40 a lot of the times. You're going to lose 600 every once in a while, but you're going to win your $500 pretty easy when you have a decent shooter. Even 6-7 rolls, you make money on it. So it's interesting. Crapsy not having Crapsy today made that hard. It made it slow, so I couldn't get 2 or 3 shooters in. I like to get these things in as many as I can if I can do it. So I asked you all yesterday about this. Would you rather me make my paycheck and stop the camera and be off, have a 10-minute show some days, or use the full 45 minutes and play it as many times as I can and get more trials in? I think, entertainment value wise, did John make his money today? Yes or no? That should be the show. From a science experiment side of things, I should do it as many times as I can. So I'm still torn on what to do here. So again, I will leave it in chat and we'll talk about that maybe later on together. But that's it. We did good today. Good job on the strategy skill. It's working out so pretty well. On Friday, I may roll out an alternative to this. I think one of the things we've been talking about is that lay 9 scares a lot of people. And I think the question becomes, does the 7 on the come out scare you so much that you need to lay the 9 for so much, right? That 9, that $600 on the 9 is going to lose, out of 36 rolls, it ought to lose about 4 times, right? 4 times 600, $2,400. The come out on the don't pass with $300 should lose 6 times out of 36. 6 times 300 is 1,800. So if you leave the come out 7, the don't pass unprotected, it's going to lose $1,800. The lay 9 is going to lose $2,400. So there's a gap in there of $600. That's actually, says the math, it's better to not lay the 9 Just let the don't pass be its thing and have an easier time of it. Now, on a day where you have a whole bunch come out sevens, that's going to bite you pretty hard, right? So to each his own, right? Think about that as you go through it. I'm going to roll it out Friday without the lay 9 and see if there's any difference in the way the thing feels. So there it is. That's that. Let's move ahead here and chat about, we already talked about this part. The come out roll. I updated the screen finally. So there's a Fireside Craps coming up on Sunday, this Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to do it live or not yet, because Sunday, obviously, there's a lot of football going on. So we may or may not do that live. We'll see. If not, I'll record it ahead of time and get it out there. I'm working on who it's going to be with me this week. I have an idea, but we haven't locked it in yet. So we'll figure out who that's going to be. And again, the Fireside Craps, if you would, go to Discord. There's a channel for Fireside Craps. There's a big note in there from somebody else with a lot of ideas for show topics. Let me know what you want me to talk about with our guests and who you might want to see as a guest on Fireside Craps. And remember, Fireside Craps, some weeks will be a deep dive, right? We talked to JB last time. We did a lot of talking about math. I'm going to have him on a few more times, and we'll talk even deeper about the math. And those will be kind of hardcore sessions. But if you want some lighter topics and just funner guests and whatever, let me know. Let me know who you want to see. I'll talk to anybody. I mean, can you imagine having Nemo or Vince or somebody else on that? It'd be kind of fun, right? So let me know who you want to see on Fireside Craps, and we will we'll make it happen. I've got every 2 weeks I'm doing a show, so let me know what you want to see. Friday Night Fights this week is going to be Sith Lord SP versus the one and only Nemo. Should be a good battle. Sith Lord is more of a dark side trending player. He prefers that. Now, last week he played dark on me most of the time, and I didn't help him out a lot. I wasn't throwing a lot of sevens. Nemo is more the right side, going a little bit heavy, and can really have a huge swing. So I think it's going to be an interesting battle of true opposing forces there. It should be kind of fun. And then get prepped up here for the Big AZ Royal Rumble in a few weeks. That's going to be on Sunday the 5th. It's 5 hours, starting at noon Eastern. So there is all that. So I think more announcements to come on other things, on other topics. But for now, that's your getting set up for the day. So let's get to the table and talk about, I forgot, the hard hat. We got to talk hard hat again. Again, Jeff, I sent it to you. The hat's in the mail. So you'll get that in a few days. And again, our nominees for February, I'll run through them again. Big AZ, Skill and Luck, Sideshow Gamble, Vince, Alfredo at Texas Crap Shooters, George from CY, Ed Robinson, Hawaii Crap Shooters, Joe from Craftsmaster Journey, and Waylon. There was other people nominated yesterday. Color Up was nominated. Wager Me This has been nominated. Again, think about who you want. Go to Discord, put it in the Coffee and Crafts channel, and we'll start promoting every person as we go here. But I think this is a good list for the month of February. And again, this is not a popularity contest. This is a chance for you to recognize the people who put in the work that you don't see. This is like the Dirty Jobs Mike Rowe of Craps Award. This is the people that clean the septic tanks out that you don't know about. Skill and Luck's one of them. Skill and Luck is pulling all the puppet strings behind the scenes. He's talking to everybody on the phone. He's running strategies. He's got a lot going on that you don't see on camera from him. You see it from us. He's one of those guys. I'll tell you who else is a behind the scenes player is Duracell, right? He's in the chats working this thing all the time. Duracell puts in more time watching and interacting with us than any provider does, right? So he's, I think, one of these guys that we could put out there as a nominee maybe in March. So think about who you want to recognize as the Dirty Jobs guy, the Hard Hat Award guy or gal for our community. So think on that, please. All right. Now we can move ahead and get into more talk about trending. So we've been on this on this trend this week talking about. Oh yeah, Dice Degen. Sorry, I got to put that on. Let's go back the screen. Let me go back because that's an important point. I forgot all about you, man. I'm sorry. The football show. The football. If we calling it, is it called the football show? Please tell me you got a better name than that. The football show. Come on, get on the screen. On CGTV tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. It's Ian and Chris talking football. I also forgot to mention, geez, I'm sorry. It's been a day. Tonight is Fantasy Craps. So LFC, live Fantasy Craps with Arnell and the gang here on the channel. I got to promote that more often. I don't do that enough. I played Fantasy Craps with those guys last week. It was awesome. I had a fun time. Fantasy craft's one of those things that it can be kind of hard to watch, right? Because it's a lot of chaos, and it's hard to follow what's going on. If you're playing fantasy crafts, if you're in the call and you have your headphones on and you're betting on your table while they're doing their thing, then it's a great experience because you're actually playing along with the guys. There's all the ribbing going back and forth. It's cool. So LFC is great. That's tonight. Football show tomorrow night. I'm sorry I forgot to mention both those things. Now we'll move ahead and talk about trending. So we've been talking about trends for a couple of days now. And here's going to be the third day of it. So I got to remind you every day what the expectations are. I think it's important that we set this table. We know that the 7 ought to roll every 6 rolls. And I know a lot of you have said, I've heard you say this. I've heard a lot of people say it. You get to roll 7 or 8. Somebody says, oh, the 7's due. It's due because, or you say it's due, you think it's due because on average, it comes every 6 rolls. It doesn't always happen. Matter of fact, today we're going to see that it won't come every 6 rolls. The average person rolls about 8.5 rolls between 7s. That's average over the course of time, which means sometimes there's 2s, sometimes there's 30s, sometimes there's 12s, and the average of all that is about 8.5, right? So that's where the averages come in. You don't bet based on those averages. You bet based on what's happening at the table in the moment. The don't pass is another good example. About a 49% overall win rate, but it's about a 60% win rate once the point happens. And we're going to do a little don't pass rollout here this morning and kind of show you some of that, okay? That's the basic kind of high-level expectations, but from dice combination standpoint, you expect this, right? 1, 2, or 1, 12, 2, 3s or 11s, 3, 4s or 10s, 4, 5s or 9s, and 5, 6s or 8s out of 36 rolls. Now, I can roll 36 rolls every day, and I will roll it again today. I've done it 2 days in a row. You'll almost never see, and I think somebody said that the odds of you rolling a perfect 36 rolls is like in the billions, right? You almost never, ever, ever see a perfect 36 every time, which is interesting because that's the averages, right? But that's the thing. That's the reality of it. The reality is, in the short term, you're going to experience what we call variance. Variance is anything that happens outside of expectations. So if you roll 36 numbers and you roll 2 12s at 36, that's a variant. You're in a variant because you're outside of what we expected to see. Okay? That happens every 36 rolls. You can take any pocket of 36 rolls and do this and prove that you're never in the expected outcome. Over the course of a million rolls, thousands of rolls, huge trials, the law of big numbers comes in and the averages take over, and you will see the perfect pyramid. You will see exactly the right number of 7s, 6s, 10s, and what have you. And I'll show you at some point my statistics over the course of 10,000 rolls with not only my controlled shooting, but with our random stuff that we do here in the mornings and my daily paycheck shows. Those things are perfect. They're essentially perfect pyramids of randomness. But within the pyramid, there's pockets of variance. And on the controlled shooting, my nighttime practice where I'm working on my dice setting, there's bigger pockets of variance. The variant pockets are much bigger that you'll see that as we go through it. So there's that. That's kind of the overarching sort of talk about variance. I think it makes better sense when we look at it. When we see it on the table, the way we talk variance out there. And I think I'm going to do a couple of different examples today that I hope will give you some light on how to bet things, okay? Let's go on out there and do a quick demo. It's going to take me a minute to get my table set up, okay? Here we go. Glasses on. Switch the camera view to the table. We're going to zoom in today on that view of the table. I'm going to turn my lights on. And I'm going to leave this out here for now. This is our trend from the other day, but we're going to roll out a couple more of those. What I want to do here is start out with another 36 rolls just to prove that we can't get a perfect 36. It's fun to do that for me. And we're going to try to track some other things. So I want you to keep your attention on what trends we're seeing or what trends we're not seeing out here. Okay, so here we go. Hawaiian coffee, baby. The Kona is where it's at. All right. I'm not going to mark the puck for this demonstration. We're just going to roll 36 numbers. I'm going to mark them with lammers where they go. And I will mark hard ways as well so we can see kind of where things landed and what we expect to see. Here we go. Let's go and get 36 rolls in, and I'll mark them with the lammers where they go. We're going to start off with a 7. And as we see the variance emerge, I'll call them out. On the don't pass, there's actually what we'll do with the 7s. I'll mark them here. Here's the reds. I'm going to mark which reds came. We should see 2 of each, right? We should see 2 of each. So if you're a person who cares about what's on the faces, this can matter to you. 6-5, there's a yo. 6-5 yo. I'll put that. I'll put it here in the horn high section so you can see them a little easier. 6-5 yo. There's a 5 and a 4. That's a 9. That's going to go up here. And actually, I can put these even here on my hops. I can put the combinations that came on the hops in the box. We can see which versions of the numbers came up. And I want you to also think about this. I'm actually going to do it right now. We're going to track the number of rolls between 7s. Okay, so I'll put that here in the field. Okay, so far we've seen 1, 2 rolls between the 7s, and again that should come. We should see a 7 every 6 rolls. Let's see how many times that actually works out the way it's supposed to. There's a 1, 2, 3. That's an ace deuce. We'll put that right there. There's a 4, 3, 7. Okay, so we got a 4, 3, 7. We had only 3 rolls between the 7s there. So that broke, that's already a bad case, right? We've already broken what we expect, 4, 3. Okay, so we have 2 7s, and we had only 3 rolls between them. So that's already the 7's coming too fast, you could say. Here we go. 9, 5, 4, 9. So now we've seen 2 9s that were the 5, 4 variety. We should see 2 9s that are the 6, 3 variety, right? Within the numbers, we should see stuff. And that's 3 that first time. This time, that's 1 roll between 7s. There's a hard 10 a hard way. That's 2 rolls between 7s. That's a hard 10, 5, 5. 6, 1, 7. Oh, wow, look at that. So there it is. There's another 7. It's a 6, 1 this time. We'll mark that over here, 6, 1, 7. That time, only 2 rolls between 7s. Here we go. 6, 1, 7. 0 rolls between 7s. Yikes. 4 7s already. Look at that. I can't even put a 0 here, I guess. I'll put a black, I guess. That means black means 0. 4, 1, 5. 4, 1. There's a 5. Let's mark it up. 4, 1. Right there. I should just put these black ones upside down. They look better that way, so you can really see them. All right, that is a 3, 2, 5. So the 5s back to back. That would have been a buckshot. Ugly. By the way, that's 2 rolls between those 7s there. So that's going to be a 3, 2. 6, 5 yo. That's our second yo. That's our 3rd roll on this one. There's a 7. 5, 2. 5, 2, 7. So again, 3 rolls between the 7s. 5 and a 4, that's a 9. That's going to be our first mini aberration. Okay, 5, 4, 9. So 3 of our 9s came 5, 4. 1 roll between the 7s. You expect to see 2 5 4s and 2 6 3s. Through true dice combinations, that's what you expect. That's actually a mini variant inside of a variant. 9, there's a 6 3. So now we have our 9s are correct. That's our second roll between 7s, by the way. And our 9 now has the correct number of 9s. There's been 4 rolled. They rolled weird, but they rolled. We still haven't seen the outlier. Here's the outlier. This is going to break probability. 5, 4, 9. That's our 4th 5, 4, 9. 3rd roll between the 7s. And now we have too many 9s and too many of one kind of them, which is interesting. 3, 1, 4. It's our first 4. 3, 1, 4. That's our 4th roll between the 7s. I'll again try and spread those out a little better. 3, 1, 4. Ah, got away from me. There we go. 5, 1. There's the mixer. Mixer finally came out to play. That's going to go there. Fifth roll. Seven's due, right? Oh, look at that. On command, here comes the 7. 5 rolls in. 5, 2, 7. That's the first one that's felt kind of right. Okay. Our 7 count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s. We have a whole lot of rolls to go. So the 7 so far, way ahead of things, way ahead of where it should be. 4, 2, 6. Let's mark that up. 4, 2, 6. The second type of 6. That's our first roll between this group of 7s. Back to back, 4, 2, 6. There's a buckshot right there, right in front of you. Kaboom. Let's mark that up. Hard 6. Look at the 6s battling back. Look at that. Wow. 3 rolls between the 7s. That's a hard 6. And again, we should see 1 hard 6 and 2 of each of the others. That's what you expect to see. 1, 2, 3. There's an ace deuce. That's our second ace deuce. That's expected. So the 11s and the ace deuces are where they ought to be. Those two are perfect. That's the 4th roll. Oh, 4th and the 5th, right? I think that's, yeah, I missed one of the 6s. There's 5 rolls now between 7s. There's a 1, 3, 4. That's a 3 off the wall. There's the 1. It's another roll. 3, 1, 4. So that's correct down there. 3, 2, 5. Are the 7s going to hide from us from now on? Another roll between the 7s. I think I might have missed one of the 4s. I don't know. 3, 2, 5. That's correct. 4, 3, 7. There it is. So that's the 4, 3, 7. The 7s now have become an outlier. 4, 3. Our second 4, 3. That looks like it was 7 rolls between them. Maybe 8. I might have missed one. There's 8 rolls now between the 7s there. We have about 10. We have about 10 rolls left. 0 8s so far. 0 8s. So when you have an outlier, something else has to give. Something always has to be messed up. There's our second hard 6. Right? That's one more than we expected to see. That's another, like the 9, that's a mini variant inside the 6 hole, right? And that's our first roll between 7s. 4, 1, 5. Here's an aberration coming up, right? 4, 1, 5. Those are set perfectly, right? I was thinking it was a 6. Those two are set perfect. Now we have 2 of each, like you're supposed to. Remember, the 9 had the mini variant going up there. Let's do it again. 6, hey, finally got an 8. 6, 2, 8. How about that? 6, 2, 1, 8. So far, the 8 all week has been the one that's been lagging, right? 3, 2, 5. So there's our first little change, right? The 3, 2, 5. We have 1 extra 5, 1 extra 9, right? So far, those are the outliers. The 5, the 9, and the 7 actually are the outliers. Let's mark that in here. I think I might have missed the 8 too. So there's 4. Okay. There's a yo, another outlier. That's gonna be our fifth one. The yo, third yo. Hard 8. Now it's going to come battling back at the very, very end. You watch, right? Here comes the 8. 8 came hard. There's 1. Hard 10. That's also an aberration, right? The hard 10 came twice. It should have came once. We should see 1 hard 10 and 2 easy 10s. We saw 2 hard 10s here. Another 1. We're there. 5, 3 and a 2. 3 and a 2. That's a 5. There it is. There's your extra 5, right? So 4 of those, 2 of those. That's 2 extra 5s. 1 extra 9. 1 extra 11. I didn't mark that as an extra hit, I don't think either, too. 7, 6, 1, 7. So now the 7s have really outpaced things. 6, 1, 7. That's going to go here. Do it like that. And our last roll is coming up. And there's an 8. The 8 fought back a little bit towards the end, but let's look at where we are, right? We have too many 7s. We have 8 7s instead of 6. Only one time, here's 8, right? That's a set of 8 chips. It's one time it came to where the average number between 7s, 8.5 was even close, right? The rest of these were 3, 2, 0, 3, 5, and 6. Only once did it come 6 times like you'd expect, only once did a shooter go 8. The rest of the time was garbage, right? That's interesting to see. I think if you look at the numbers themselves, again, in 36 rolls, as soon as one number goes higher than it should, more 11s than expected, that means that this one here has to come from somewhere else, right? So we got 0 2s, 0 12s. That's where it got stolen from. The 8 also has only 3. The 10 only has 2. The 4 only has 2. So the extra 5, the extra 9, the extra 11, the 2 extra 7s that we threw came off of the 4 and 10 and the 8. That's where you missed out. Okay, so there's again another example of 36 rolls never measuring up and trends that happen inside of here. Okay, so I think that's interesting. I think you should do this on your own to see how that looks and feels in real time, because I think it's fascinating how that works. Now, the real thing of today is talking about trend betting. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change, not my felt, but I'm going to bring my mouse pad over for a reason. I want you to be able to see the chips a little easier, because the numbers don't matter. So give me a second here to walk over. I'm going to grab this. I know it's kind of dirty. That's where my mouse pad is not the cleanest thing, but whatever. All right, here we go. We're going to set up bets out here. I'm going to move the first day's work, right? The first day we did this where we won 5 in a row. I think we lost one first. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll take another red chip. We lost that first one. This is the first days don't pass stuff, right? I'm going to force one to look like this. Give me a second here to do this. We're going to force a chop. So I'm going to go, let's go loss first. We're going to go lose, win, lose, 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 lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to go in that order. So we're going to do a choppy one. Okay, I'll put them kind of here in the middle. Okay, so the first one here is going to be this good streak. 5 in a row, 2 in a row, right? This is kind of an outlier. The second one is going to be a pure chop. Okay, and I'll run these bets out here separately against these things. And then I want to do a third one real quick. So let's run a quick don't pass experiment. I'm going to roll some dice, and we're going to pay attention. I'll put greens and reds out here for the don't based on win or loss. Okay, so I'm just going to roll them here really quick. There's a push. There's a push. There's a 5. So remember, the point is 5. We made it. So that's going to be a loss. Start with a loss. There's a 4 for the point. 8, 11, and this is super scientific, right? I'm looking for a 4 or a 7 here. 9, good. What a great roll. 10, 2, come on, 2. Seriously? 7. Okay, there's a win, loss, win. Coming out. 6. The point is 6. There's a 5, 4, 4, 3, come on. 7. Another win. Little streak, right? 2 in a row. And again, we should see 60% of the wins are on the point once we get a point set. And another point is 6, 8, 10. This will take in a minute. That's why I didn't do this in front of you the other day, because it takes a while. 7. 3 in a row. If you can beat the come out, 60% win rate, right? There's another 6 for the point. We made the point. Loss. So not as good of a streak as there. 4 on the come out. 4 made. 2 losses in a row. 5 on the come out. There's a 4, 10, 5. Look at that. 3 in a row. This is a great example. 8 will be the point. There's a 4. There's a 7. This is like a chop, but like a 3 streak chop in the middle there. There's an 8 for the point. 9, 9, 3, 8. Loss. This is super choppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Another 8. Geez. 5, 3, 6, 3, 9. Come on. Let's get a resolution here. 10. Yo. 4. 8. Loss. So we just did it live. You should win 60% of your don'ts. We won 40% of our don'ts. So right there, aberration, right? 4, 8, 10. Yeah. We won 4 instead of 6. That's already wrong, right? No come out decisions at all, which is cool. We had 0 come out craps. We had 0 come out 7s or 11s, which is weird. We have a streak of 3, a streak of 3, and a streak of 2. Now let's go ahead and look at these 3 bet cycles. I'm going to put the stick here to separate them. We're going to work on that one first. All right. Now let's talk about, and again, working the front here, the front section. Let's work on 3 ways that we can bet that as a trend. Okay. And again, you're here, you're at the starting gate. So you don't know ahead of time that we're going to be in that. You don't know that you're about to get 5 wins in a row. You have no idea, right? It's about what betting system do you want to employ to try and take advantage of it. If it happens. Okay. Let's put this out here. Let's put out a rack, and hopefully you can see the rack. Can you see the rack? Close enough. We're going to do the rack with 500 bucks in it, or 300 bucks. There's 100. I'll get Lammers out. 100, 200, 300. And I'm only going to bet the don't pass. We're just going to take this as don't pass winners. It doesn't matter. Like I said here, these could be a place bet on the 6 that loses because you never hit it. This could be a place bet on the 6 that has 5 hits before the next 7. It doesn't matter what bet you're doing. I'm going to do a don't pass bet, 1-to-1 payment. This could be field bets for all we care, right? It's just a matter of how does the streak work? Okay. So let's take 25 bucks out, and I'll put the bets. Where can I put the bets? If I put it over here, can you see it? No, I'll put it over here. Can you see that? Or here? Let's put it here by the unicorn. That's where our bet's going to be, this front part here. So let's say on the very first one, we pulled 25 bucks out of our rack and we lose the 25 bucks. I'm going to do this here as my parlay press system first. Okay. And again, I'm just going to give you some examples. I'm not saying these are the best ways to do it. First, we'll do a parlay press. Okay. So we get paid, we lose 25 bucks. We go back out for another 25 bucks. We win a quarter. Parlay press says stack it up. That's this one right here. I'm going to move I'll put a thing. That was that one. On the next hit right here, we win 2 units. We won our parlay. The parlay press strategy says when you win a parlay, you increase your base bet by 1. So we stay at 2 here. We increase our base bet by 1 and we come back to our rack. Our rack now has profit in it. Roll 3. 2 wins 2. We parlay it up. Roll 4. 4 wins 4. We make our base bet 3 units and bring all this back as profit. Win 5. We parlay that up and we get beat. We lose the whole thing. That goes away. We put $25 more out. I'll take it out of the profit side right here. And we lose the 25 bucks, which sucks. We put $25 more out right here. That wins. We stack it. We come over here. It wins. And our bets come down. And we ended up with our money back plus 400 or plus 100 plus 75. So we ended up with 175 by doing a little streak planning. If you come out predisposed to bet that way, that's the way that could have worked. Okay. If you come out playing, I'll reset the rack. You come out playing something like a 1-3-2-4 type of system, right? Which is that super aggressive attack mode thing, right? Let's try that one. 1 unit bet, loses. Bummer. 1 unit bet. So now we're going to be here. That one wins. 1-3-2-4 says take your win, take 1 from your rack, and bet the whole freaking thing. So you go to 1, 2, 3 size unit bet. We go to here. Okay, that wins. 3 units. You regress your bet down to 2 units. For here, 2 pays 2, and you stack it. You go to here, 4 pays 4, and you go back to base. Start it over again. 1-3-2-4 wins you 10 units. come back over here, it wins. You add one, stack it up, try it again, and we lose. It goes away. Come on. We go back out with a new quarter, and we lose it. Go back out with a new quarter. It wins. We add one. We win. But that's our 10th one, and it all comes back. The 1, 3, 2, 4 in a streak like this wins 100, 200, 325 bucks. The aggressive 1, 3, 2, 4 does a pretty good job when it encounters that 5 in a row. It's a great way to attack that. Okay, how does a ladder work? The Wayland normal ladder. Let's check that one out. We're going to go out here. Let's take those away. Now again, this is strict ladder. First bet goes out. Well, that's not from there. First bet goes out from our rack. Sorry, I got my rack. I pulled too much money out. Okay, first bet goes from the rack, and it loses. So we go here and put a unit of 2 out there. The unit of 2 wins, and it's back to base. The ladder goes back down to base. Our rack is now set, and we're here, right? He doesn't press up, so it's same bet. Same bet. Same bet. One more, same bet. And it goes there. We're out here again, and we lose this bet. So we come out with a ladder. We ladder it up to 2. That loses. Ladder it up to 3. So 1, 2, 3. And we win the 3. Boom. We win the 3. And we go back down 1 level. So you bring back 100 bucks. Actually replenish the front of your rack. Come into here. You win 2. That's the 10th one. And this all comes back. The net result, 175 bucks. Actually, it's the same as the parlay press guy. Same exact profit, different way of getting there. Didn't hammer the streak like the other guy did, right? But also recovered on the losses better. Interesting play, right? Versus we can do a same bet guy. And the same bet guy is just going to win the net. He's going to win 6 and lose 3. Or win 7, he's just going to win 100 bucks. So that's a roll with a good streak in it. Okay, let's look at this middle one here. Actually, I'm going to take that down. We don't need this example anymore. We're done with that one for the whole week. That's been up there for a while. Let's play the chop. Okay, this chop is where you're going to see the ladder system dominate. But let's look at why it dominates. I'm going to move these up a little bit. Let's watch the ladder system with here. First things first, we're going to play the first style. Okay, the parlay press guy. Okay, he's going to come out with a 1 unit bet. So on roll 1, 1 unit bet. I'll put it over here. 1 unit bet loses. Oh, sorry, it's got to come from here. 1 unit bet, we lose. 1 unit bet, he wins. Parlay press says, press it up, looking for a streak, goes away. Okay, that sucks. Comes back out, we win, yay, and we press it up, and then we lose it. And then we come out with another 1 unit bet, and we win. We stack it up, and then the chop takes it away, it loses again. Another 1 unit bet, that wins. We stack it up, and we get our ass kicked. Last one, 1 unit win, and we walk away with a loss of 100 bucks. Okay, so in a chop, trying to stack the wins is just going to eat you alive, right? Trying to be aggressive here. And again, it's a predisposition, right? I'm predisposed to play an aggressive don't. Okay, in the chop, that will get destroyed. A same bettor in the chop has the same problem, right? They're going to basically break even. They're going to win 1, lose 1, and have no goodness come out of that, right? The 1, 3, 2, 4 player, watch this. If I'm trying that aggressive way, let's do that one. Come out with 1, we lose it, okay? Come out with another one, we win it. 1, 3, 2, 4 says take the win, stack it, and add 1 from your rack, and that goes down, okay? We'll go back out, and we'll win. We're going to add one from our rack and be super aggressive, try and catch that streak, and it goes away. We'll do it again. We'll come back out, and we win on the don't pass. Yay! Stack it, hammer it, and we lose. Come back out, we win. We stack to it. Booyah! We lose again. Finally, we come back out here again with one more bet, and it wins, and we're done with our 10, and we have $100 left. We lost $200 being aggressive in that one, right? That same strategy that dominated the streak gets hammered in the chop. Okay? One more time. We'll do this we'll do this one with the ladder. And watch how the ladder plays the chop. The ladder plays the chop a whole different way. It's pretty cool to watch this. There's 2. There's $300. Let's go out. Our first bet is a loss. Come out with 2 units. Come in here, and the 2 units wins. We go back to base. There's our money back. We're over here. That 1 unit we left out there, it loses. So it comes back over here. Whoops. We come back out with a 2 unit bet. We win 2 units and go back to base. Putting a chip in the rack. See, watch how this works. And then we lose our unit. Sorry, I dropped some chips there. Come back out with 2. And we win it. We win 2. Regress down to base. Reset the rack. Put 1 in the profit side. It loses. Come back out. I can do it from here with 2 from our profit side. We're going to win 2. We're going to regress down to 1. 3 units in profit. That 1 loses. Fine. Come out again with 2. We win 2. That's the last roll. And we come back over here, and we have 125 in profit on the chop. The chop destroyed the aggressive players. The chop profited for the ladder guy. Now the ladder guy has won about 175 and 125 on both the chop and the streak. The other 2 guys only won in the streak and got killed in the chop. They won more in the streak than the ladder did, right? But the ladder survives the chop and does pretty well. And you can, again, do this as a same better. The same better, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, walks out of here with nothing but the house edge. The casino loves the same better. The casino loves the same better. The same better, right? Loses, wins, and they come out of there with exactly what they started with minus the house edge, right? So the casino would rather you same bet than be aggressive on the streak or be playing the ladder here on the chop. It's interesting stuff, right? So again, as you're, and the chop itself is a streak. Is a streak of bullshit, but it's a streak that you have to be aware of, okay? That nice 5 in a row that we had was great. That's an awesome streak that you can attack. This is also a streak that you gotta see. And when you're 1, 2, 3, 4, you're, oh shit, we're in a chop right here, switch to a ladder here and save your bacon until the chop resolves itself. And the chop resolves itself like this. You might see later on 1, 2, 3 in a row. So you're laddered up, you're laddered down, you same bet, oh, we got 2 in a row, now I might press up and start attacking a streak. Like you don't, the best way to do that is to kind of play the chop as a ladder until it stops being a chop. When you win 2 in a row, change your strategy and get into a press mode. Like let the chop happen, let the ladder make you money, and then move out of the ladder here on that second hit. That's the way that when you ask like, how do you read a table? That's how you read a table. You play it in a way that you know is gonna win on good or bad. And then when you see the second one in a row, you say, okay, now maybe we're gonna be 3, 4 in a row, and then you start pressing in here. You've already made your money back here. Now you press back over here and start attacking it. So that's chop play. And again, I think you got to go to your home tables and set these scenarios up for yourself and just lay them out here, right? Pre-roll the dice and then run all your strategies against what you just rolled. Now the last one. Let's move this up. This one that we just rolled in front of you, okay? Let's see how the 3 guys do in this scenario, okay? Lose, win, 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 lose, 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 win, lose, lose, okay? First guy, we'll do the parlay press player. I'll put his money back here, okay? So first we lose. Where's my chip? We lost there. We come over here, we're out again, and it wins. We stack it. We come over here, the stacked win wins. We pocket that and stay at level 2. Come over here, 2 wins again. We parlay that up, and it gets beat. But our rack is still okay. We're in good shape in the rack for right now. Ah, shit, come on. Back out level 1, lose. Level 1, donate. Level 3, come on, or loss number 3 rather, we donate. Come back out again, and it's a win. And we're again blindly gonna stack up all the wins. Come over here, and it goes away. Come over here with a last bet, and it goes away. And that person who's trying to attack a run loses 125. They have 175 left. This is what happens to me all the time. I bet this way all the time, and this happens to me. Oh, good, 3 in a row, we're killing it, and we lose a bunch in a row. And like you kind of tread water there. You don't get the 4th win that you need to make the actual profit, and you get burned, and you see this upside down streak. I should be winning 6, not 4, and you end up losing a little bit. So that's the parlay press player. Let's reset it again and do this one more time, at least. Now we'll do the 1, 3, 2, 4 player, the super aggressive guy, okay? Again, he comes out with 1 unit bet. We lose the first one. We come out here with a 1 unit bet, and it wins. And he stacks 1 on top of that win, and we come here. That pays 3. He goes down to a 2 unit bet, which locks a little bit of profit up. And we're over here. 2 wins 2. He goes to level 4, stacks them all up, and we lose the stack. So he is got 1 unit in profit at this point. Now he's gonna lose, bet, and lose. He's gonna bet and lose. He's gonna bet and lose. Now we're here, we got to win. And we come out with a new bet. It wins. We do the aggressive stacking from the rack, and it loses. Then he puts another chip out for the loss, another chip out for the loss, and he's done, and he's now lost 150. He lost a little bit less than the last guy did, but he was aggressive with it, okay? Now we'll do the ladder. Ladder's gonna come out with 1 unit bet, and it's gonna lose. It comes out for a 2 unit bet. 2 units wins. He goes back to base and brings back the money to his rack. Now we're here. His bet is still out there from before. He wins it, same bet. Over here, he wins it, same bet. Got a little bit of profit in the rack. Comes over here and it loses. Drops a chip from his rack, okay? Now we're over here. That's gonna lose. Comes out with 2 units. Ladder up. Loses. We're gonna be in this next roll. He has a 3 unit bet, which loses. Now we're over here for a 4 unit bet that wins 4 units, which is fantastic, okay? We regress down to 3 and bring all this other back to the rack, okay? We're gonna bring back 4 plus that last 1. Whoops, plus that last 1. Okay? 3 units are sitting out here. Come over here. That goes away. The last one, we put 4 units out there to ladder up the last time. And that second loss takes the 4 units. That's our 10. And we're done. And he lost 125. He's down to 125. So the ladder in this case here, the subsequent losses and not enough wins, you don't get the ladder back down. I have encountered with the ladder systems this, where I've cool, winning, and we go up, ladder down 1 time, and then lose a couple more times. And I'm like, shit, my ladder gets too big, and I can't recover. I never get enough of this to get my ladder to come back down. The ladder's great in a chop. It's great when it's kind of even Steven. These bad runs like this that aren't followed by another good run is where I get beat with it. So that's a good look, I think, at 3 streaks. A good winning streak, a choppy sort of like mid streak that's actually a little bit upside down for the don't, or your field bet or whatever. And this is actually a good look at the field. The field would win about this many times and lose that. That's actually a perfect field play. Or a super choppy. There's a good look at like how you could bet either one of them. Is there an answer there? No, right? The aggressive 1, 3, 2, 4 does great when there's 5 in a row. The parlay press does really good when there's 3 in a row over time, right? The ladder does great in a chop. Your job is to recognize what's going on and find what's your starting point? Is your starting point the ladder? And when you see this, jump out of the ladder. Or is your starting point something else? And when you feel the chop, jump into the ladder to save yourself during the chop, right? That's the thing. You can't know it's coming. You only know this here. After it's all been done, you can look back and go, oh, wow, all that happened to me. You're always going to be here not knowing what's in front of you. You got to make the best decision you can make right there. At that third win, what's your best move? Based on what you've seen. You've seen a loss 3 in a row. What is your best move? Well, now you're here. You lost it. You lost it. You lost it. You're in another negative trend. Maybe after that second loss is when you change your strategy to something a little safer until you see a win, and not only a win, but 2 wins in a row. I would be same betting from here, here, until I saw 2 wins in a row, right? That's the thing you're looking for. You can't tell what's going to happen, but you can say, I'm going to make my move based on 2 in a row of X, Y, or Z. So there it is. That's hopefully that's good info for you and a good demonstration of how to see the chop, how to see the trend, how to bet the trend, what systems work against what types of tables. I think it's the kind of thing that I hope that you will practice on your own. And again, lay them out like that and run your different strategies against that number of wins and losses in those sequences. I think it's important to see how your strategies work on a great sequence, on a choppy sequence, and on a sequence like this where it's kind of weird. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope that makes some sense as you go through it. It's an eye-opener for me when I roll these things out ahead of time like we just did, and then I start putting bets out there and seeing what happens. So there it is. All right. Waylon's Way Crap says, 25 don't pass ladder up losses, don't ladder down. Well, you know, the normal ladder, Waylon, is that. Up on a loss, down on a win, right? That's the way that most Daily Bears work. So that's why I did it that way. If you play it differently on one of your strategies, that's totally fine. This is not saying the Waylon way of playing. This is saying a traditional ladder plays that way. So you can, again, tweak your strategies. And I think Waylon would be a good example of this, right? That choppy way. If you put your chips out there, like I just did, and say, well, what if I didn't come down after a win? What if I just stayed at level? Ladder up and stay at the level forever. How would that change things in my rack if I did that versus coming down the ladder? I think it's a good, like, try this, try that. Does that make sense, everybody? So roll your dice, set up 10 outcomes, do your bets against those 10 outcomes, and tweak until you're comfortable with what you're seeing and your ability to kind of see that your bets can attack or avoid the ugly. So again, I don't have any answers here. I just have a technique for testing. So that's what I want you to see. I want to see your techniques for testing in play. That's what I'm doing there. So a couple of questions today came up in chat, it looks like. Duracell, I just saw this one go by. So give me a second here to sort of run back here. How much? I thought he said, how big is my table? Actually, let me just do PCs. Now my mouse is acting really weird. So PC, oh good Lord, look at all this stuff. Justice Jen says, oh, this is going back. I'm going to go back a little bit, actually, to this other screen here. Sorry for the glare on the glasses. Jen says, play more. She wants me to roll the daily paycheck and keep playing and never stop. So that's interesting. Hyperpress Nemo, you're welcome. We got a nice little phone call last night. Wasn't long enough, but I had work. So yeah, it's good talking to you. And of course, I'm always here. I'm here for all you guys. If you've emailed me, you have my phone number. I'm always around. If I'm not in a meeting at work, I'm there for y'all. Let's see, what else? What if DI minimizes variance, right? And that's a good question. I was talking to my math friend, JB, last night about this, actually over text. And here's an interesting thing, Doris. I'm so glad you brought this up. The variant that I showed there, right? I'm turn that stupid light off, sorry. That variant that I rolled out where I did the 36 rolls was interesting. Because again, you're never going to get all 36 rolls to be perfect. There's always going to be an outlier in there. I believe, I'm going to put your comment back up. I believe, now that come on, man. There we go. I believe that with dice influence, if you can do it, it's not random which ones are the outliers. Like today we got lucky, right? We had a bunch of 5s, a bunch of 9s. I think if you're controlling the dice and you take away one of the 7s that we saw, and you can always take away one of the 7s and move that, what would have been a 7 to a 6, and take away the horns and take what would have been a 2 or a 12 and move it to the 5 and the 9. If that's what your DI does, if it puts you more in the box and makes variance that way, when John over at Mudslide Max channel, he says, I like to create variance with my dice control. That's what he's talking about. It's not so much huge 7 avoidance. It's not so much cherry picking numbers. It's really saying out of 36 rolls, I'm going to not throw a 2. I'm not going to throw a 12 because my dice sets favor box numbers. I'm going to throw one less 7. So there's 3 rolls out of 36 that he's moved from the 2, the 12, and the 7 to the 6, the 5, and the 8. Right? That's what dice influence is hoping to do. It's not hoping to create monsters. It's creating variance. And it's controlling what's being varied. Not me just chucking and hucking and hoping that I don't see a bunch of horn numbers. Yesterday I threw 5 horn numbers. Today I threw 2. Right? That's what you're looking at. I think that's the point of DI. And Duracell, it's an amazingly accurate point there. And I think that's one that we should talk about more often. That's what we say when we say creating variance. It's controlling which numbers are you seeing more of instead of less of. Because you're never going to get a perfect 36. You're never going to get a perfect 36. The 3 or 4 that are weird, you want to have influence over what those are. And hopefully you've moved them to the box instead of the 7s and the horns. That, I think, is interesting. So I hope that clarifies what you wrote there, Duracell. I think it's really a good and astute point. Let's look for questions if there are any. I don't see anything else. How much money could have been made between those runs? Oh yeah, so you're right. So Duracell, you're totally right. And again, this is just looking at what I did here was just don't pass, right? All the other bets aside. And that's where craps kind of get you, right? Like you're playing the don't pass and you're like that sequence of wins there in the don't pass. In between all those rolls, when I was doing all the rolling, there was money in the box to get made. And then we weren't doing that. I'm just looking at the resolution of a single bet. And like I said, those losses that we had, the chop, whatever that was, you could have said, okay, those choppy things or the streak things was just looking at a place bet on the 6 instead of the don't pass. So that could have been like 5 6s in a row that you pressed up 5 times versus the single don't pass. It's just, I think rolling for the streak there, I think is just, how do I say this right? Setting up a streak like we did, like the choppy one or the long one or the weird one at the end there. You do that so that you have kind of a win-loss pattern to follow for the bets that you're trying to test. So how would your play 6 have done if it lost 1, won 3, lost 3, and then had the 2 chop at the end? How would a play 6 have done if that was the series of wins and losses that it had? Which I think informs you how to be a place better. So there's that. All right. I think that's all of the questions. I thought somebody had asked me how big my table was, or how big the layout was. I'm going to answer that question because if you're interested in ordering it, layout, maybe table, I don't know. Somebody I thought asked it. This table here, by the way, is 6 foot. It's a 6 foot long, 3 foot wide table. The layout inside of it is, I think, 42 wide by 22 deep or something like that. I designed that layout specifically to fit where the camera is. Like it fits exactly what's on camera so that when I go to these views that you see, the table views, I designed it to fit perfectly on camera. And so that we have room to roll. And if I wanted to go to like a longer view, a wider view, you can see the back wall. So it's a 6 foot by 3 foot table here. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say today. There was a lot to be said there. And I hope that was valuable. People are good comments this week on the streak betting and on the trending stuff. I think it's critical to remember that that's the world we live in. We live in that world right there. We live in the world where it's choppy, where it's great, where it seems great, but it's actually not. That 3 wins in a row followed by all those. It's not always awesome. And I think you've got to set streaks like that and do your betting practice with that, right? That's how I made tier pressure. Tier pressure is literally me doing that with an across series of bets and saying, if I win 3 and lose 1, win 4, how does it work? I did that exact experiment with 100 rolls, and that's how I create strategies. That's how I do it visually, so I know what's going to attack the trend best, what's going to not get killed in the chop so much. That's the reason why I do things. It's why I like some of Waylon's stuff, because the chop happens. The chop is the most often thing you see, I think. So those things work great. Anyway, that's all. That's all I got. I think I need to go to work. So it's 9:10. Y'all, thanks for being here again. We have a huge crowd again, right? Over 40 people for both shows today. Fantastic stuff. You guys are great. Appreciate the love and support. And again, God bless all of you guys. And stay safe and play smart like Jeff. I'll do Jeff's line. Do the thing. And I'll see you probably again tomorrow morning. I'm not going to practice tonight. I'm working every day now from 9 to 9:30 to a 12.5-hour day, all week this week, all week next week. So my time is limited at night, and I'm kind of tired. So that's it. Hopefully tomorrow Crapsy's fixed and I have a better, quicker run out there. Although I got to say this, I'll close with this last little thought here. Let me go back to this screen here. And I think it's interesting. I want to go to the talk about skill strategy real quick. How do I get up there? There. We had this problem today with Crapsy, right? Where Crapsy didn't work and I had to do the bets myself. I was bitching about it. One thing that it made me realize really quick was how God, in like a month, we've all gotten so damn lazy. Like Crapsy's made us kind of lazy because I'm bitching because I can't type in my bets and get instant math done for me. When you have to play your chips out of the rack like I did today, you forget that you have to add up what's on the table, what's in your rack, and really have a sense of where your money is and how much money you've got. Otherwise, you're gonna, like, when we won our paycheck, I didn't realize it. I'm like, oh wait, I have $250 in profit and $270 out there. We're done, and I pulled it all down. I'd forgotten that we had that money out there. So it makes you like manage your rack differently when you're playing with chips and doing the actual bets versus playing Crapsy. And I learned that lesson today. I'm like, oh wow, I've gotten so lazy with Crapsy that I forget to organize my rack when I'm testing these strategies out, because that's actually part of the game, is knowing where you're at. So I meant to call that out earlier and I forgot that I did, and sorry I forgot to do that. So anyway, that's it. Close with that. You'll have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, and that's it. John is out. Have a good one. Bye.